This majestic view is the main subject of our visit to Knaresborough, England. It almost looks like part of a medieval fortified castle, but it's a railroad bridge, the famous Knaresborough Viaduct, with trains crossing it ever since it first opened in 1851. And the train is still a good way to reach this small town in North Yorkshire. The view of the railroad viaduct in Knaresborough. It's one of the great vistas in all the British Isles. Only in Knaresborough do you get this spectacular view of a viaduct over the river with the reflections. You can take boat rides as well too. And there's cafes down by the river. Lovely spot. Easy to get here if you're staying in Leeds. You can take a direct train, takes about 45 minutes. And you can also visit the nearby town of Harrogate as well. York is just 30 minutes away by train or driving. Knaresborough is in North Yorkshire, about 200 miles from London. We'll get back to Knaresborough's viaduct in just a moment, but first let's have a quick look around the town itself, which is a lovely place. You'll see historic old brick buildings in that traditional style of English country towns, especially at the marketplace, the bustling heart of Knaresborough, including traditional pubs and modern shops on the high street. We'll show you more of this small town later. Knaresborough is up on a hill, and from the center you can easily walk down to the riverfront, where you have another view of the viaduct. You could have a meal on the outdoor restaurant terrace while having a view of the boating activities. The town is pleasant, but the reason most visitors come here is for this view, which the locals are quite proud of.
So this is the Knaresborough Viaduct view.
And that's your most famous site?
Yeah.
It's for trains?
Yes.
Only trains?
Go across there.
Knaresborough is on the main Harrogate line between Leeds and York and has regular train service throughout the day. One train every 30 minutes, a total of about 64 trains a day passing through.
But a lot of people come here for the view, and the viaduct, when it was built, it collapsed just as they completed it.
Yes. Early in its construction in 1848, the viaduct collapsed, but they soon rebuilt it by 1851, and trains have been running on it ever since. Viaducts are ancient technology originated by the Romans 2,000 years ago, such as here in the south of France at Pont du Gard. And many similar viaducts have been built throughout the world, but this one is really quite special, surrounded by lush hillsides and a quaint town. Notice the building with a black and white checkerboard motif that functioned as an old hotel sign.
That's got to do something with hospitality. So if you were riding on your horse across country and you saw that, you would know that you'd get a food and a bed.
Wow. Like
so
a,
it was
a coaching.
A coaching in.
Later in the program, we'll bring you down to the Riverside for a view of the majestic viaduct from that perspective. And there's a lovely restaurant on the outdoor terrace, enjoying that view with a snack, a drink, or a complete meal while you're watching some of the boating activity. Then you could rent your own boat. The view from the river is just as great as seeing it from above. The viaduct is about 330 feet long with a height of 78 feet above the river. And it's built with 4 large semicircular arches, each one spanning 56 feet. The bridge is an important component of the main train line connecting Leeds and York, a critical link in the regional rail network, facilitating trade, travel, and tourism. Several walking paths around the viaduct offer alternative perspectives on this architectural marvel. It's primarily constructed from locally quarried sandstone, which gives it a warm, honey-colored appearance that blends beautifully with the surrounding landscape. It's a testament to the ingenuity of 19th century bridge construction and engineering aesthetics. And we're right next to the ruins of an old castle. The large rectangular tower was built for defense and as a residence for the lord or king. This central stronghold is also called a keep and is the most prominent surviving structure. The castle was destroyed during the English Civil War of the mid-17th century when it was a royalist stronghold captured by the parliamentarian forces, who ordered it to be ripped down, leaving it in ruins. Parliament ordered the destruction of numerous castles across England to prevent their reuse in future rebellions or wars. Many of the stones removed from the castle were then reused to build structures in town. The castle grounds now are a popular public park, offering that famous view as well as a stroll in the garden. There's now a small history museum on the grounds at this fortress that was first built around the year 1100 by the Norman conquerors. A few signs provide descriptions, and you can pass through the monumental gates to get back into the town from Castle Yard. That medieval gate from the castle leads us to a street called Castle Gate, but here the word gate means street, which comes from the language of the Vikings, who were definitely here back around 1,000 years ago. The Viking capital at York is just 18 miles away, so Knaresborough was on an important Viking trading route. The River Nid running through town would have facilitated the movements of goods such as furs, metals, and textiles. Little lanes branch off from Castlegate, including this small courtyard of Green Dragon Yard, one of Knaresborough's hidden gems. Back in the day, horses and carts were stabled here, and earlier it was a resting place for shepherds. Now we have private homes, a cafe, and art gallery. Around the corner, passing more of these historic buildings, we come upon an open plaza with some benches, an old-fashioned market cross, and two statues of local heroes. One statue is of Mother Shipton, famous for her 15th century prophecies that supposedly predicted the Great Fire of London and the defeat of the Spanish Armada. Her legend helps draw visitors to Knaresborough. The other depicts Blind Jack, a local hero who was blinded in childhood, but went on to become the first road builder of the industrial age. Here we ran into the same person we spoke with earlier at the Viaduct lookout point. So this is Blind Jack?
Yeah.
And where are we?
We're in Knaresborough Marketplace.
The marketplace is the heart of the town center, bustling with activities since Knaresborough's inception as a market town over 700 years ago. With shops all around, it serves as a vibrant hub where locals and tourists alike gather to shop, eat, take a stroll, and socialize. At the center stands the Market Cross, a stone monument erected in 1748. It serves as a symbol of the town's long-standing market tradition and surrounded by steps that often serve as seating for visitors and locals. The market was first mentioned in the year 1206. Then in 1310, Knaresborough was granted a royal charter by Edward II to officially hold a market. That charter solidified the marketplace as a focal point for trade and social gatherings. Over time, it became a center for local government and community activities. It claims the oldest pharmacy in England, established in 1720, with the lavender tea rooms next door. Every Wednesday, there's a weekly market showcasing a range of foods and other items from 7:30 till 3 p.m. You'll find many shops around the marketplace and nearby streets with a diverse array of merchandise. There's a famous butcher shop at the market where you can get some takeout foods.
The name of this store is Appleton's.
Appleton.
We've had this shop about 8 or 9 years. And we've got breakfast rolls, we've got pork and apple pies.
Try their Scotch egg, a crispy breadcrumb coating around meat and a soft-boiled egg. They're especially famous for their Yorkshire pork pies. And you can pick up supplies for a picnic with cold cuts, sliced cheese, and salads.
Knaresborough is a very, very touristy town. They all come to see the view from the viaduct in the castle yard.
Yeah. This bakery is no longer a secret. If you look up, you might notice some windows with paintings on them, something the townspeople are quite proud of.
And there's lots of painted windows as well.
I saw some of them.
Yeah.
It's all because there was a tax on windows established by the king in 1696 based on the number of windows in your building. So people bricked up their windows to dodge the tax. Then throughout England, people started decorating the bricked window with beautiful paintings. This building left 2 of the blocked windows unpainted, as did this on the left side. You see the blocked window. Clever depiction of an artist creating her painting on the brick wall. The style is called trompe-l'oeil, trick the eye into thinking it's 3-dimensional. Leaving the market, you'll find more small shops offering useful items for locals as well as unique gifts and crafts for the visitors. 1 block over, you'll reach the busiest road, High Street, offering another delightful shopping experience with local artisans, specialty stores, delicatessens, and gift shops. It's the main artery through town for vehicles and pedestrians. Along with the train, there's excellent intercity bus service with a stop in the center. You'll see on the aerial view, we've just been on High Street and the marketplace. Earlier we were at the viewpoint looking down at the Viaduct, and now we're going to take a walk along Kirkgate down to the river for another view of the Viaduct, and then we'll be leaving from the train station. Kirkgate is a quiet residential street with hardly any cars going by, and there are some shops along the way. Some of the homes are arranged around garden courtyards, while other homes have small gardens in the back. It does get steep. After all, the town is up on a hill, and if you were arriving by train, you'd be walking up this hill, but in this case, we're walking down, so it's quite easy. Passing a thatched roof, then coming around the bend for a view looking up at the Viaduct. The Riverside is one of Knaresborough's most scenic areas, with calm, slow-moving waters perfect for boating, and water so clean people swim in it. Or like most visitors, just stand here for a while, take your pictures, and enjoy this phenomenal view. And then maybe sit down at the restaurant and have a meal while you're here. The Marigold Cafe, open from 9:30 till 4, is a favorite, offering breakfast, sandwiches, burgers, salads, snacks, drinks, or maybe just ice cream and cake while enjoying this lovely view. And they also rent boats. While we have a moment, let's get straight on how to pronounce the name of this town. It's quite simple, but from the spelling it might look to some people that it's called Knaresborough, but the locals just say Knaresborough. Let me give you some examples of locals saying it in the Yorkshire way.
Knaresborough.
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 Okay, now that we have that clarified, we can enjoy our final look of the Viaduct as we round the bend, passing the Mitre Pub into the train station for our journey from whence we came. The train service in Yorkshire is really quite good. It's not expensive, with a train leaving every half hour, whether you're going to Leeds or over to York or perhaps to nearby Harrogate. I was staying in Leeds this time as a home base, and it takes just 45 minutes to go from Knaresborough to Leeds. That's easy. Costing less than £10. Now you'll have a view from the top of the viaduct looking back down at the river. The train wasn't very crowded when I was riding, and there was beautiful views looking out the window at the green rolling countryside of Yorkshire from these comfortable seats. On the short train rides like this, they only have one class of service, second class, which is all you need. I'm arriving at the Leeds train station, which is always a busy place. This video was filmed during my 30-day trip by train all the way around Britain. You can find lots of other episodes of the rest of the trip in our collection. Even though I'm arriving back in Leeds in late afternoon, I photographed this bit first thing in the morning as I departed, morning rush hour. This was the routing of my trip, which I photographed all the way and will be bringing to you as more episodes as the season develops. You can look for further information about all these places on my website, townsofeurope.com. which has links to my entire video collection. You'll find a link down below in the description. We frequently upload new movies, so please subscribe to our channel and click that little alarm bell so you'll be notified. And if you enjoyed the movie, how about a thumbs up? And we always welcome comments down below. Or if you have questions about the destination, make note and we'll answer them. Thanks for watching.